Lori Lightfoot is done. Lori Lightfoot, after destroying the city of Chicago, not that it was in like great shape to begin with, but between the COVID lockdowns and the crime and everything that has happened, the embarrassment that she and Chicago have become over the last several years, people in Chicago have had enough. Now, that certainly doesn't mean they're going to elect a Republican. That's not happening. The two remaining candidates are Democrats, but one of the first people eliminated was Lori Lightfoot. She has officially lost her re-election campaign. And she's saying that she was treated unfairly because of her race and her gender. Lightfoot faced 8 challengers and finished Tuesday night's election in 3rd place, failing to get enough support to continue into a runoff election. Reporters pressed her on whether she believed she was treated unfairly during the campaign process. "I'm a black woman in America. Of course," she responded, according to reports. Now, Lori Lightfoot, definitely black. Woman is a little bit questionable, okay? Everybody is roasting this person right now. Like, there is not a single person in the world that doesn't think it's hilarious that she has just gotten completely and utterly destroyed. This is someone who locked down the entire city of Chicago over COVID, except when she wanted to go get a haircut. This is someone who pushed the jab constantly, who offered, what was that, like $30 or something, all laid out on the floor in like $5 bills if you go get vaxxed. This is somebody who made Chicago even more of an embarrassment than it was already.
Go back up to the one above.
Yeah, dancing. She was dancing around. She did like a rap video. But I mean, hey, the people of Chicago, you might not be sane there still, but at least you got rid of this woman. What's your take on this, Jeremy?
No, man. I mean, while we're all laughing about it all, I mean, Chicago, like every time something happens with a police brutality situation and the mainstream picks up on it, they talk about how important black lives are. And then you hear everyone.
Oh,
that one's bad. That was bad.
Oh my God! Who did that?
I love it. Who did that? But you hear people, talk about the crime statistics, and I mean, it's always like every weekend, it's just something else. There's usually a child involved in some of the violence as well, and that's never anything that's ever being discussed. What was it? Didn't Lori Lightfoot make a comment like a few months ago talking about like the crime and how people should just there was some like be nicer. I don't know what she was. She basically blamed victims in some way, shape, or form to all of the violence going on. So this is a no-brainer, but I think Ryan made the bigger point where you're still voting in like Democrats. You know what I mean? So it's like it's not really going to cure things that much. But this has been one of the biggest disasters we've seen in a long time. And again, those crime statistics are always quoted every weekend. I follow Breaking 911. Every weekend they have the update.
37 people shot.
Yeah, every
dead.
weekend. Every weekend there's just statistics that are reported. And you're like, what the hell, man?
I think really they should think about, banning guns in Chicago. I think if they had strict gun laws in Chicago, that probably wouldn't happen, right?
Yeah. There it is. Liam said it. She said, "Stop carrying cash around." That's what she said. That was her response. Hey, stop carrying cash, and the criminals won't shoot you and rob you. What? That is the type of leadership that she was putting out there. And they still
shoot you.
Yeah. So I mean, Suresh, you said you've got some people there, some friends. So I mean, what are you hearing?
Well, not only do I have friends that live in the city, but I know quite a few officers on the force there, and to hear from them what's actually happening in the city and what they're seeing on a daily and nightly basis. It's actually alarming that it's not a major news story, but we know why it's not a major news story, because if they put what was actually happening in Chicago on the national news, it would just be it would blow up like people would be in disbelief of how many, and you said it, Jeremy, how many children are being shot in that city every week and every weekend. That alone would be alarming and would alarm the whole nation, but they don't show it. There are teenagers being executed in the middle of the street in Chicago. That is a fact. My friends who are officers and that live there have told me that. And these are stories that we are not hearing at all on any news network. There's a little blip on the local news network. Oh, another shooting on something or in this ward, but that's all you hear. Lori Lightfoot has gotten to the point where it, like, we're in the country, right? Like Joe Biden trying to let everyone know during the State of the Union that everything is fine. The problems that you are seeing are not really problems. They're right-wing talking points. It's not really happening. She literally, when a reporter provided her with the crime statistics from her own police department, said, that's not true. Crime is down. And the guy was like, but I just told you the numbers from your own Department of Justice. Crime is not down. Crime is up. Violent crime is up. And she's like, it's just simply not true. And everyone's looking at each other in the room like, how do you like say this? It's kind of like Joe Biden saying the economy's fine, stock market's fine. No, it's not. Inflation's at a 40-year high, and gas prices are still 40% higher than they were when you took up. It's all fine. It's all fine. That's all Donald Trump's fault, but it's all fine. So the other thing, which is even more disgusting, and here we see, you were elected as a black woman. You were elected by the people. And now, because you did a horrific job, you are being fired, essentially. And now you're blaming it on your race and gender. How pathetic is that? What does that, and I always say this, what message does that send to young black children in this country? Do a good job, work hard, get to a position. And if you fail in that position and they try to boot you, just turn around and blame it on your race or your gender. Or I believe she's also a lesbian, right? I believe she's married to a woman.
Have you seen her?
So,
yes.
Yeah. I mean, like, so I'm surprised she didn't throw that out there. I'm surprised she didn't throw out that, oh, it's because I'm a woman, I'm a lesbian, and I'm black. Like, it is so disgusting to see the angle. How about you just have some pride and say, you know what? I fought a good fight. I lost the race. Okay, I'm upset. I feel like I should have won. But okay, the people have spoken. Fine. Okay, so be it. Right now, it's this. Is that how we're going to be now for every time someone loses? Because you guys know they're already preparing the narrative. If Joe Biden loses, which he won't, that he was not voted in for a second term because of ageism and ableism. Yes. That's already coming. Yeah. They're already CNN, MSNBC. They're already prepping that narrative.
This is my favorite. This is my favorite one right here. This is my favorite meme because it's not even a meme as much as it's just a side by side. Like that is awful.
The way that she dresses sometimes is insane. Like there is just no. The fact that Chicago elected this person to begin with should mean that there should be nobody that ever cast a vote for Lori Lightfoot. They should have their voting privileges stripped from them. Like you should never be able to vote in a presidential election ever. You need to surrender like all of your rights. Just submit yourself to the court because that's embarrassing.